All right, shalom, shalom. And they say, call Lord Wahawala, was all praise and glory and huge. Yahweh Bashem, Yahushai Bashem, Kwakadash, the Monster Posse, El's Great Millstone, bless God, the elect, few sisters, his life corners, just waking up from the truth. All right, got, video of what's going on over there with the Israel and Palestinians, how that situation, as far as the conflict of the Gaza Strip, Palestinians, and which is Ishmael, and the small hats, all right, the Israelis, okay, and basically, it's all biblical prophecy, and how it's going to lead up to the Third World War, okay, and you got to see how I'm gonna go into it. It's a news update, all right. The whole world sees it, and they condemning them small hats, man. They condemn them small hats. And by the way, this is fair use, non-profit. Not making money off this. It's educational purpose only. It's crazy how we gotta say that now, man. Just for copyright's sake. And matter of fact, man, it's right there. Yeah, so we wanna get videos taken down. But anyway, I'm gonna play this video clip, and I'm gonna go hit some scriptures and just break it down. All right.
With the Security Council deadlocked because of a perpetual U.S. veto, there's nothing the UN can do. But the UN General Assembly does actually have the power to intervene. If you could explain what the Uniting for Peace resolution is, when it was last used, and how effective it's been.
Yes, that's right. There is this mechanism in the United Nations General Assembly known as Uniting for Peace. It has been long on the books, adopted in 1950. It has been used many times, sometimes with very practical effect, other times just symbolically. But there is an opportunity now to use it to actually change the situation on the ground in Palestine, despite the U.S. veto in the Security Council. Far too many delegations have gotten into the habit of hiding behind the U.S. veto by throwing up their arms and saying, well, we tried, but the U.S. vetoed it. But Uniting for Peace allows the member states of the United Nations, 193 of them in the General Assembly, to circumvent the U.S. veto and to adopt concrete action, as it did, for example, in 1956, by mandating the UN emergency force to deploy to the Sinai in the middle of the Suez crisis against the wishes of two Security Council members, the United Kingdom and France, and against the wishes of Israel. It could do the same thing now in September by mandating a UN protection force for the people in Gaza and more broadly in Palestine that is specifically mandated to protect civilians, that is mandated to ensure the delivery of humanitarian aid, to preserve evidence of Israeli war crimes, and to begin the process of reconstruction. Most importantly, to change the incentive structure for Israel and its co-conspirators in the genocide that's happening in Palestine. Other measures could be adopted in such a resolution. For example, denying the credentials of Israel in the UN General Assembly, as was done with apartheid South Africa, establishing a criminal tribunal to hold Israeli perpetrators to account, reactivating the anti-apartheid mechanisms to deal with Israeli apartheid. A whole range of measures that could be adopted that would have actual teeth and that could not be vetoed by the United States or any other state. And there is an indication from previous votes around Palestine that they would have the two-thirds majority that is necessary for adopting these measures in the General Assembly. Israel would have no legal right to refuse or to obstruct. And this is the final important point that I'll make on this one. Just last year, the International Court of Justice, the highest court in the world, found that Israel has no sovereignty in Gaza or the West Bank. It has no legitimacy, no authority, and no right or legal standing to either consent or to refuse the intervention of a force to protect the Palestinians. The state of Palestine has requested such a force. Palestinian civil society across the board has demanded such a force. And there's an opportunity here now for that to actually be created in September. But the beauty of the Uniting for Peace mechanism is that the Secretary General cannot block it, the Security Council cannot block it, the United States cannot block it. It only requires a two-third majority of the member states. There is a move underway to build that majority now, and the hope is that will take place.
So this is a huge issue because you think about the global...
Okay, he said a lot, but basically he's going into how the EU, right, wants to get involved in, that ongoing fight between the Palestinians and the Israelis. All right, and he went on to say how the United Nations are trying to help the Palestinians because they're going through a famine, and the Israelis is committing genocide and is breaking international law, and they need to help. The United Nations need to help the Palestinians, and Israel is not trying to let that happen. They're blocking humanitarian aid. They're stopping food from coming through there, and they're just fed up with it, man. They're fed up with it. All right, I'm gonna get the United Nations fed up with it, and the whole world is at that point. So I'm gonna get into it. All right, I typed in Google It gave me AI overview, an AI answer, basically. I typed in, as you can see at the top, what international shit, so I can, it's up top right here. I can't highlight it, but the search little part said, what international law has Israel broken against, they typed in EU. It's like, yeah, the reason why I screenshot it, because I couldn't, it kept giving me different answers. Yeah, I kept giving me different answers every time I went back to it, so I just screenshot it, because this is exactly what I wanted. But I'm going to read. It says, reports from 2025 by UN bodies and international human rights organizations accusers were breaking several international laws related to its military actions in Gaza, the expansion of settlements in the West Bank, the treatment of Palestinians, right? While Israel disputes these allegations, and international legal bodies and other states are scrutinizing its conduct. Key allegations, violations from reports issued 2025, Gaza genocide. In September 25, UN Independent International Commissions inquired of occupied Palestinian territory, including East Jerusalem, and Israeli released a report concluding that Israel had committed genocide against Palestinians in Gaza. The commission found that Israel, including Israel released a report conducting that Israel had committed genocide against Palestinians in Gaza. Commission found that Israel was responsible for 4 of the 5 genocide acts defined by the 1948 Genocide Convention, and stated that genocide intent was indicated by explicit statements from Israel authorities and military conduct, right? Because the Israelis saying when you gotta do ethnic cleansing, they use statements like that, right? And this is all in the way of, excuse of Hamas. Let me see. Let's see. Yeah, they keep using this as excuse, right? The hostage and bombing situation. October 7th attacks were a series of coordinated armed incursions from the Gaza Strip into Gaza developed by southern Israel, carried by Hamas and several other Palestinian military groups. The day, October 7th, the day was labeled the blaze in Israeli history and deadliest for small hats, JOOs, since the cost by many figures and media outlets. Hamas and several other military groups stormed the Navo music festival in nearby communes in southern Israel and killed more than 12,000 people and took 251 hostages. So that's that whole October thing. Just refresh your memory is about. And they keep going on and on using this situation while they doing this genocide thing, or this storming out the people of Gaza, the people of Palestine in the Gaza Strip. This is why they doing it, because of this attack right here. But the thing is, the people that are in the Gaza Strip, right? Not all of them are secret Hamas military guys or people, but they are you just gotta try to keep up with it, man, because there's so much that's tying into this, the whole thing. Let me see, trying to Why are people starving Gaza Strip? People are starving Gaza Strip due to catastrophe, man-made humanitarian crisis caused by a combination of ongoing conflicts, severe restrictions, military acts, and widespread destruction of infrastructure. International. What's up, man? Okay, so they give me different answers, but basically they starving them people out because that situation, October 7th thing, all right. And the thing, like I said, the thing is the whole Gaza Strip starvation famine thing. A lot of those are like what do you call innocent bystanders. All right, they basically held all the Palestinian people responsible, based off that October 7th situation. They're saying they can't trust nobody, so they can't trust them Palestinians. Like they could possibly be super cells. So they just they all facing the aftermath of the October 7th thing with the Hamas situation. They got those people in a concentration camp and they holding them hostage. They holding them people in Palestine hostage. All right, and a lot of those are people trying to escape the war. So yeah, man, that's what's going on. So let me get back to it. So yeah, this is this Google search that I typed in. How is Israel breaking international law? It was these key points right here. It's because of genocide, right? They commit genocide of people, Palestinian. That's how they're breaking international law. Such a disproportionate use of force. A report from Publications of Law for in August 2025 asserts that Israel has used Gaza that excessive and disproportionate of its legal justification by violating international law. Starvation as a weapon of war. Human rights organization UN have accused Israel of using starvation as a method of warfare in Gaza by impending humanitarian. Here is impending humanitarian aid and commercial supplies. In August 2025, Humanitarian Rights Watch also detailed how Israel policies are starving children in encaged attacks on civilians and infrastructure. In June 2025, International Commission of Jurists reported that Israeli Defense Forces fired on Palestinians waiting for military aid and on almost daily basis. In March 2025. So yeah, so they bombing them people. All right, they bombing innocent civilians. People that has nothing to do with the Hamas fighters. Innocent people are suffering due to the fact that Israel they they letting loose on everybody. People have nothing to do with the war. Just because they are Palestinians, right? Then the nationality of the Hamas are the same nationality. They they Palestinians too, basically. So Israel they're not how do you say it, colorblind. They just coming after everybody. Anybody's a Palestinian, they just coming after them. the Netanyahu was confirmed as a resumption of combat. An attack on late March hit a humanitarian convoy, killing at least 15 aid workers. So you see, here it is. The UN, the EU is trying to give aid to the people of Palestine, and Israel is attacking them people. They're stopping anything from coming in and coming out, as far as aid. All right, so they letting them people just starve to death, not have no medicine. So like I said, now you seen the devil work his hand right here and live in effect. All right, would the people of God do such a thing? Okay, would they do such a thing? Right, that's what the whole world was asking. How could these be the people of God? All right, and they doing these acts. Forcible displacement. International bodies of NGOs have condemned the forced displacement of Palestinians in Gaza in June 25, and ICJ called on Israel to immediately stop criminal forcible displacement in Gaza Strip. So this is considered criminal acts, them starving them out like that and stopping aid from coming in. West Bank, East Jerusalem illegal settlements. International Court of Justice issued an advisory opinion in July 2024, confirming that Israel's settlements and policy is breach of Article 49 on the Fourth Geneva Convention, which prohibits an occupied power from transferring its own civilian population to occupied territory. Reports in 2025 indicate that Israel has. So they up there, that occupied territory that's already, inhabited by people. Basically Israel is doing what Christopher Columbus and all those other British bastards was doing during the time of Gad, man. The conquering land has already been occupied. They're removing a man's landmark. All right, here it is. You say you founded America when America was already founded by the children of Israel, which is Northern Kingdom, Latinos and indigenous or native tribes, man, Native American tribes. There's people already in this land, and you came and conquered those people. That's the same thing they're doing with, as far as expanding, right here was it's West Bank and East Jerusalem. All right. It says Article 49, Geneva Convention, which prohibits an occupied power from transferring its own civilians into occupied territory. So Israel's trying to expand their they're trying to expand themselves by coming in people's own territory. All right, people is already in that territory, and you hear it is, you say, no, we gonna come through. All right, we about to come through there. All right. And like I said, the whole world sees this, and people tired of it. So you small hats are the reason for why it's gonna be a third world war. The small hats are the reason why, because they are they breaking laws, man. They're breaking international laws, as I just read. So I'm gonna go with Isaiah. For Psalms 55 and what is it? 55 and 20 says he had put forth his hand as Esau, Edomites, so-called white people. He had put forth his hand against such to be at peace with him, and he had broken his covenant. Right, so he had put forth his hand. He said, "Let's make this covenant. I'm gonna do this, and you gonna do that, and we gonna stand on it." Right, but then he'll breach that agreement that y'all had that he'll just make with somebody, right? He won't hold us in the bargain. His words smooth brother, but war is in his heart. His words were smoother than oil. He had drawn swords, right? So you can't trust this man. In other words, all the peace agreements. Hell, there's a video of Donald Trump cussing out the small hats because they had a ceasefire agreement and they broke that shit like the next day or so, or next 2 days. I think it was the next day. But you can go on live. Trump dropped an F-bomb on TV because Israel has broken a peace agreement which they just made. So this man's the devil, man. The light is being shined on him as being, a mass murderer, all right, a colonizer. Like, come on, dude. What more evidence do you need? Songs 140. Songs 140 and 1 says, "Deliver me, O Yahweh, from the evil man, preserve me from the violent man, which imagine mischief in their hearts. Continuing are they gathered together for war." Right, continue are they gathered together for war, man. All right, that's all this man knows. Because what? The blessing of, he's a blessing and a curse, right? Blessing the sword by Isaac that he gave to Esau. He said, "By the sword thou shalt live." So you would, in other words, you will have to murder people to maintain your kingdom, to keep up your kingdom, to be in power. All right, that's the only way you can do it. That's a blessing of Isaac. So Esau carries this blessing. He can't just stay on top by letting things be peaceful. No, it can't. He got to steal people resources, steal people land, lies, which is all coming out. They have sharpened their tongue like a serpent, adders poison under their lips. See, so he'll lie, basically. That's what he'll do. He create all these lies. He'll speak peaceful words and have you believe that, things are all good when in actually he's plotting a plan to overthrow you. Keep me, O Yahweh, from hands of the wicked. Preserve me from the violent man who proposed to overthrow my goings. That's how Esau works, man. He's overthrowing a lot of these darker nations, the colored nations, people that got pigmentation in the skin, basically. By setting up all these traps, man. Okay? So David cussed their ass out. Because that's how the wicked works. Okay? What was it, Ezekiel 35? What I had lined up? This is Ezekiel 35 and 14. It says, "Thus said Yahweh, when the whole earth rejoice, I will make thee desolate." Right, so the world is mourning right now because your ass is in power. Isaiah 29 chapter. All right, so when we get in the power of the real Israelites, it said the whole world was gonna rejoice. And getting these devils under our foot. That's when the world's gonna rejoice. All right. The devil is ruling the planet Earth right now. Let me look at this last scripture. So, oh yeah, and that video clip that I showed said the what did he say? It kept saying U.S. veto bills, kept vetoing the EU from basically intervening, all right, as far as the whole conflict with Israel and Palestine, right? Because they kept trying. It said they vetoed those bills to help protect the Israelis, the small hats, all right, their interests, and it kept vetoing those bills. Oh, man. See, now I have to keep slacking. You just gotta kind of catch up on that. I'm trying to cut this video short. I said, I typed in why does U.S. keep blocking UN security? It says U.S. has repeatedly blocked United Nations security resolutions, particularly concerning the Israeli-Palestine conflict, using a veto power as one of the 5 permanent members. For example, the near 2-year war since October 7, 2023, Hamas attack has vetoed 6 resolutions related to the war Gaza as on September 2025. It says the official reason provided by U.S. represented by blocking these resolutions, including I think they gave another. Yeah, you see. So let me see. Yeah, so I'm just gonna skip that, man. The back and forth. They're trying to stop the EU from helping the Palestinians. In other words, all right. That's why they vetoing, bills or stopping UN from helping. Okay. They're saying no. Listen, you can't. The United States is saying, listen, you can't instigate and the Israeli and the Palestinian conflict. That's what they're telling UN. UN saying, no, fuck that. We need to help these people. We need to help the Palestinians. We need to get involved because this is breaking international law. But as you can see, U.S. and Israel don't give a fuck about that. So this man's broken his own covenant. He's breaking, he's going against his own rules, in other words. So that's the devil for you. All right. You can keep up your end of the bargain, but they ain't got to keep up their end of the bargain. Okay? Let me get this last scripture. I'm in on this. Jeremiah 50 and 45. It seems like brothers constantly keep bringing this scripture up. All right? As far as the small heads. Therefore, hear ye the counsel of Yahweh that he have taken against Babylon, America, right? Not ancient Babylon, but this is talking about America. His proposal that he had proposed against the land of the Chaldeans. Right, this is a land in Chaldean. The Chaldeans are the witches, the warlocks, the magic people. You know what I'm saying? The spiritual council of Babylon, right? That's what America is indulged in, right? Surely the least of flock shall draw them out. The least of the flock is so small as this the Ish people, the JOOs. They gonna draw Americans into the Third World War. They're gonna draw them out into the Middle East and get involved in a the Third World War, which is gonna end the United States. It's gonna end them small hats, right? Because they keep doing dumb shit like this. The small hats are doing dumb shit like this, and it's causing the world to come against them, right? He shall surely make their habitation desolate with them. At the noise of the taking of Babylon, the earth is moved, and the quiet heard among the nations. Right, so everybody's gonna come against. As you like I said, you can clearly see the EU, which is those European nations, right? They want a ceasefire. They want this conflict to stop between the small hats and Israel, right? And America keeps protecting them on their behalf of the small hats, right? The U.S. is getting into situations where they don't even have to get involved in, or they shouldn't be a part of, but it's due to the small hats' sake they got to get involved because the small hats run the whole entire world, even the U.S. That's why people don't understand. They don't understand why the U.S. keep coming to their aid. They keep coming to their rescue. Small hats, the Israelis, because they own the world. That's why. It's as simple as that. But they're gonna cause these small hats are gonna cause the U.S. to go up in nuclear fire. All right. And yeah, that was it on that, man. It's like I know this video was long. But yeah, they broke in international law. The constantly Israelis, the small hats, keep breaking international law, right? And the U.S. gotta keep taking the blame, all right, for it because of the small hats, all right. And like I said, yeah, man, it's gonna go down. This place ain't got much longer, all right. People are tired of, the whole world's tired of the small hats in the U.S. Okay, but yeah, with that, give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bashim, shout out to Mount Spots, Elsgrid, Mr. Bless God, the day, it's like owners, Shalom. Yeah, just keep your eye on that, man. Them EU nations just said the 10 horns are gonna burn her with fire. That's the Revelation 17 chapter. They shall burn her with fire because they're gonna get tired of it, which is the EU or the 10 horns. They're gonna burn the whore, which is America. So this prophecy happened right before our very eyes. Shalom.